Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watch One, and thanks for logging on. Today we are looking at the Ulysse Nardin GMT plus minus Perpetual 38mm in rose gold. You can see this Ulysse Nardin dual-time perpetual calendar on our website, watchyouwant.com. Purchase it there, and if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc. You can also click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of this video at any time to see our full listing for this watch with prices, accessory information, and additional photographs. Now you can see on my wrist 6 1/3 inches, 16 centimeters in circumference. The 38mm traditional case size of this GMT plus minus Perpetual is a perfect match if you have a smaller forearm, between, shall I say, about 17 centimeters and 13.5. This watch is going to be the sweet spot for your wrist. It's comfortable, it's compact, and the proportions are beautiful. Now, 38mm across the round of the case corresponds to approximately 45mm from extremity of lug to opposite extremity, and the watch is nice and thin, only 12.5mm thick, and it has a wonderfully curved case flank and domed bezel, so it slides easily under a dress cuff or a long sleeve of any kind. Now, the GMT plus minus complication, in conjunction with the Perpetual Ludwig perpetual calendar system, came about around the turn of the millennium. But what you're looking at here is the realization of that system, that union of perhaps the most practical of complications, in a Ulysse Nardin manufacture movement and a case built by the company. It's a gorgeous composition, and it wears free and easy on a smaller wrist. Now you can see it has a generously bolstered monotone stitch black alligator leather strap, and it's paired with a beautifully finished, high-polished, and very substantial single-fold Ulysse Nardin deployant clasp. This is a truly grand clasp. It's a standout. Nothing about this speaks to default design. It's a small but important element of the watch that's been carefully considered by the UN design team. You can see the unique faceting of the pin buckle itself with the UN logo inset, and just the substance of the swing arm is impressive. It's like something from a previous age of horology when gold wasn't parsed out in small increments and large, substantial swing arms were still de rigueur in the high horology class. This is a throwback, but a beautiful anachronism. Now, the watch itself features generous use of stepped lugs and stepped bezel to give strength to the 38mm case. Nothing about this feels, perhaps, should I say, overly bosomy or sensuous. It's got a hard edge to it because of the use of those stepped lines, adding strong character and definition. From the bezel itself to the flanks of the lugs, this is a watch that has a lot going on in a very small space. It's feature and detail dense. Moving inboard from that beautiful polished domed bezel, you can see there is a sloped rehaut, and it's in the form of a 24-hour chapter ring that serves as the calibrated scale for the half-speed 24-hour independent second time zone hand. Now, in Ulysse Nardin fashion, 24, of course, is at 6 o'clock on the dial, so be cognizant of that fact. Otherwise, it works conventionally, just as any 24-hour GMT hand does. Now, as you can see right here, I have the local time at center. You can see the Foy hands, hours and minutes, coordinated with the second time zone. So you can see where it indicates that we are looking at 7:12. Likewise, the second time zone corresponds to just past 7 o'clock. Now, the watch features a comprehensive perpetual calendar in addition to a very clever dual time system. It's called the plus minus because these opposing pushers on the case flank, looking a bit like inverted pistons of an engine, operate the travel time function for the local time zone. Significantly, it does not interrupt the oscillations of the balance of the Ulysse Nardin caliber 32, so even as you adjust the time on the dial for travel purposes, you're not interfering with amplitude or timing in any fashion. Now, the watch does feature Ludwig Oxland's superb and very user-friendly perpetual calendar complication, and I say it is the best on the market because A, you get all of the cardinal indications, day, date, month, and year, and B, it has the extraordinary feature of being settable forward and backwards. You can see the jump from April to March and back, like so, all controlled from the crown, All of the indications move in sync, so you can never get it out of kilter, and you can always correct all of the indications with the crown. Uniquely, it is future-proof since you can adjust it yourself. It's not subject to the year 2100 exception on the Gregorian calendar, wherein all other perpetual calendars from other manufacturers will have to go back for adjustment at the factory. The owner of this watch will just roll over. It's a small but important distinction because it speaks to the degree, the depth of attention given to the mechanism itself. Just like that uniquely faceted and finished and very substantial clasp, it speaks to the level of thought that Ulysse Nardin put into this exceptional watch. And you can see there is a great deal of exceptional detail apart from the complications. You can see a gorgeous rose lathe pattern guilloche running top to bottom on the dial, as well as beautiful polished applied rose gold indices and rose gold hands with rose gold Ulysse Nardin anchor logo. It's beautiful, it's legible, it's common sense, and it's a beautiful complement to the mechanical simplicity of the Ulysse GMT plus-minus perpetual movement system. Now, the simplicity of the dial cloaks the complexity of the movement itself. This is UN's caliber 32 executed entirely in-house, beautifully finished. You can see the lacquered inset Ulysse Nardin anchor logo on the beautifully frosted rotating mass, as well as gorgeous heat-blued screws and circular Côte de Genève. And this is an uncommon treatment of Côte de Genève, but beautiful, almost like ripples on a pond. This is an incredibly substantial watch. At 38 millimeters, it's unlikely that anyone else, except perhaps Patek Philippe, gives more content per millimeter of case size. One of the world's best perpetual calendars in a travel time watch of outstanding proportions and timeless details. This is the Ulysse Nardin GMT plus-minus perpetual 38 millimeters in rose gold, available at watchyouwant.com.